Hello everyone, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink, and here's my first card using components from the new Simon Says Stamp October Special Edition Creepy Cute Card Kit. Say that 3 times fast. I will have links to some of the elements that are available individually because these limited edition kits do sell out very quickly. So I'm starting with some black cardstock. And I'm using the Creepy Cute stamp set. This is available individually. And I used my anti-static powder tool first on the cardstock. And then I stamped the little like spooky Halloween house from the set with some Simon Says Stamp clear embossing ink. And then I'm using Wow glow-in-the-dark embossing powder. I will have a picture at the end. I was able to like activate the embossing powder under the light and then like locked myself in my bathroom where there's no window and got it dark enough so I could actually take a picture because of course trying to show on camera, you know, anything glow in the dark and holographic and all those sorts of things is so difficult. For me anyway, because my camera skills suck. So anyway, I melted it with my heat tool. And then I wanted to color it in, and I pulled out my Finetec iridescent watercolors here because they look so amazing on dark cardstock, and I was loving how this ended up turning out because it looks glowing without having to use necessarily glow in the dark. So these colors were really fun. And I had taped on the cover of my little palette here, the box that it came in, I taped the basically the swatches or whatever of the colors because it's easier to see that way, because when you're looking at them they all look, you know, very pastel, very pale, but on black cardstock, as you can see, they're much brighter and yeah, almost glowy. That's why I love them. So I used all the different colors to watercolor this in. This is just black cardstock. It's not watercolor paper, but it works because I'm not using tons of water. I'm just painting on this color. And it's not perfectly even either, which I actually liked. I kind of put it on fairly thick because it's a, you know, creepy house. I kind of wanted that unevenness. So I'm just using my little Zen, this is a number 4, I think, paintbrush. And I had sprayed all these watercolors ahead of time and let them sit for a little bit because you need to like really stir it up and kind of activate it because it's just the type of watercolors they are with these pigments in them. With all that shimmer, you need to really like work it up. So I painted it, let it dry for a minute or so, and then I'm going to trim this out with my scissors, just going around and leaving a little bit of a border so you can still kind of see the black cardstock because it just gives it that little extra something. So just a little bit of fussy cutting with my little detail cutting scissors here. And then once I've got this all trimmed out, I'm going to start working on the rest of my card. So this was a fairly simple card because I'm using elements from that kit. So there was these fun like cardstock stickers and different things. So really the only thing that took the most time was coloring in this house. So after I'd colored it in, cut it out, I set it aside, and I'm going to stamp one of the sentiments from the set, doing the same thing using my anti-static powder tool. I'm stamping onto this black cardstock with the Simon Says embossing ink. And the sentiment I'm going to emboss with white embossing powder because I wanted it to stand out a little bit more. Because the glow-in-the-dark embossing powder, while it has a little bit of a green tinge to it, it's not a very stark embossing powder because the whole point of it is the glow-in-the-dark quality of it. So I embossed the sentiment with white embossing powder, melted that with my heat tool, and then as I was working on this, I started thinking about like my card base and the little background I wanted to create. So my card base is white cardstock from the kit. It's Simon's 120-pound cardstock. If you've never used this cardstock before, it's fabulous. It's so smooth and it's heavyweight. It's so perfect for card bases. So I used the anti-static powder tool again, and I'm stamping the little star from the set just around the top of this card base. And again, I'm going to use the glow in the dark embossing powder for this. So you can kind of see it in real life. On camera you can't really see it that well, but in real life you can kind of see these little like green tinge stars. And then like I said, at the end of the video I'll have a picture of these in the dark. So the house and the stars are going to glow in the dark. So it's just fun. So I stamped that and melted that with my heat tool. And then I wanted to add some more splatter to kind of look like stars. So I used more of my iridescent watercolors here, just deciding on kind of the blue tinted one. So got a little bit more water there, and then I'm just picking up some with my paintbrush, scraping that onto an acrylic block. And then I'm going to flick my paintbrush against that block and create a splatter, again, more towards like the top of the card. And again, hard to see on camera because it's pretty much white on white, but in real life you just see these fun little, very shimmery little speckles of color on the background of this card. So I set that aside to dry, and then I trimmed down my sentiment with my paper trimmer, and then I'm using some pattern papers to add to kind of ground the little house on my card front. So these are from the Pebbles Bootiful Night pack. They're just, I really like the colors of these. They're not your typical kind of Halloween colors. Like there's lavenders and greens. Like normally, you know, you have purple, green, orange, black for Halloween, but these are like pastel colors, and I love that. That's something I really like about this kit, because these are kind of the star of the kit with the stickers and different things, and just having those lighter colors just give everything a different look, and I love it. So I trimmed down a piece of this star pattern paper, and then like I said, there's stickers in this kit, which I don't often work with stickers, but sometimes they're just fun. So these are all cardstock stickers, and a bunch of them you can kind of see they're totally holographic, which is so much fun. I almost didn't want to use any of them, but you get like two big panels of stickers to use. So I used the witch because I wanted her for my background, of course, flying through the sky. And then I'm adding some little star stickers to my background. And then there's this fun trick or treat sentiment sticker, and the word, of course, completely holographic. I had a heck of a time trying to get pictures of this card because my camera was just losing its mind. So I adhered my pattern paper to my card base and decided to add a strip of this fun plaid pattern paper and just trimmed off the excess. And then I'm going to just press the cardstock sticker onto right above the pattern paper there. And then my spooky house, I decided to pop up with some foam tape just for some dimension. So I popped up the house, and I also ended up popping up the sentiment with just a really narrow strip of foam tape. So once I've got those into place, I'm going to add the little narrow strips to my sentiment, and then I can pop that up below the house there. And then once I've got that done, I want to finish off the inside of my card, which I decided to keep ridiculously simple. There was this great big Happy Halloween sticker in that on one of those panels. So I just pulled that off and stuck it inside and just left it like that. And again, it's all holographic, you know, so you got the rainbow color. I love it. Love it. So I ended up deciding to add this fun little moon as well to my background. So I popped that into place and then moved one of the stars out of the way and moved it to the other side just cause. So if you're careful, you can move these stickers around a little bit, but they stick pretty well. So I got that out of the way, trimmed off any excess on the side of the card, and that finished off my card. So I will have a link below the video to my blog post. I'll have links to the supplies used. You can see here how it glows in the dark. I love glow-in-dark embossing powder. It's so much fun. So yeah, I'll have all that info in the description box below the video as well as on my blog. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you all very soon in the next video. Bye!